Welcome back to Miniature Mashup, everybody. Today I want to turn your attention over to a very good deal over at Troll and Toad. They've got the Gravity Feed, the entire Gravity Feed case booster box thing for $7.99. That's 24 individually wrapped Heroclix miniatures. They're all based on the good Thor movie, you know, the one that most of us like instead of just some. Now there is going to be some shipping and tax, which means you'll end up paying about $14-15 for this thing of 24 miniatures, but you can offset that by taking the chase figure. You're guaranteed to get either Fenris or Hela. On eBay you can get like $5 to $10 for it. If you let that go and you get another $10, you're looking at 24 miniatures for about $7, which is a wonderful price for these because they are very good, high quality repaints, and they're really suitable for Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer or whatever. I ordered 2 of these puppies back when they were going for $10.99, so I paid a lot more for them, and I still feel like I got a very good deal. Well, now that I got you here, why don't we take a look at them and see what's inside these boxes after the bump. As you can see, it's a pretty cool looking box with lots of art from the movie. There's a little cardboard flap that opens up, and you can get all the Heroclix to fall out. That's hence the Gravity Feed thing. You grab one, the next one comes down, and every one of these is packed in foil, and then inside that is a plastic clamshell container, which is a lot of waste. You're going to see in a moment, like, this creates a ton of garbage, but it's just a type of sales model they use. I'm not even sure if Heroclix is still doing the Gravity Feed thing, but you know, every one of these goes for about $3 instead of a booster, which I think goes for 10. So they end up being more individually. They tend to do this for smaller sets, usually the ones based on the films. So, you know, there was one for the Kick-Ass movies and Dark Knight Returns. These tend to be not exclusively for movies. I know they did these for the Ninja Turtles too, but sort of the odder properties, things that fall outside of Marvel DC comic books, which is their mainstay. And I'm just cutting these open with a pair of scissors. My first pull is Odin. That's Anthony Hopkins in an orange Snuggie. But actually, it's a very cool looking miniature. I don't know if you can tell even in the clamshell, but the paint on these is quite nice for pre-paints, and the sculpts are also good. Wasn't always the case with the movie Clix. I think the movies tend to be a little bit more of a mixed bag. Heroclix in general, it really depends set to set what they look like, what their overall quality is. But you can see these are very nice. I'm just whipping these out right now, and you see there's lots of Hulks in here. I've got a couple of Grandmasters, which is Jeff Goldblum, his character, and we've got, not Balder, but the other guy. There's a pretty good selection of characters all together, and you can see there's just a trash can there full of foil wrappers just filled to the top. So many, so much garbage. So just start popping these out. We've got the Grandmaster in his shiny robe. I think he makes a great spellcaster or a town elder. We've got Idris Elba's character, whose name is escaping me right now, but he makes a very cool bandit or barbarian. Well, look at all these clamshells just packed up, just so dense, plastic. And honestly, it's a pipe of plastic I can't do anything with. These go right in the garbage. Guys, if you have an idea of what you can do with those, go ahead and leave it in the comments section. I don't know, maybe you can use them for molding something. Look at this. So much waste. But as you can see, the Grandmaster, he is standing on a little platform, so that's kind of an extra because I'm going to take him off that. We've got Valkyrie back there, Loki, and I'm just cutting these off of the base. Taking Grandmaster off with a safety knife. Very easy. He's only on there with a couple of little plastic pegs. Really nice little sculpt, don't you think? And paint job. Not bad for D&D or even a sci-fi game, really. Arm stretched forward, he's either, you know, saying stop, or he's throwing a spell or a psychic ability out. So you get quite a few of these. I ended up with 5 altogether. And just a stack of the cards, which I don't use. I don't play Heroclix anymore. I really do need to make a video about why. I mean, I'm not against it. I haven't like sworn it off or anything. I just don't buy Clix to play Clix with anymore. And here I am trimming up Valkyrie. Just popping her in a base, using a chisel to get her off the base. In this case, the little platform she was standing on broke apart, so I just trimmed her down to her feet. And I'm going to just glue her onto the cheapest base I can find. For the most part, I'm selling these off. I kept a handful of these for myself, but mostly I bought these to flip them. I did keep all the Hulks, but all the other characters I kept like one version each from my pre-painted D&Ds, and then the rest I just threw on eBay. This for me was just an exercise in crafting and, you know, trying to make a little money. I mixed them in with some of my other Heroclix that I like to sell for lots of miniatures for other games. I like to rebase them. A lot of people don't want to deal with the crafting side, and I kind of step in and take care of that for them. And I charge a very modest fee. I don't make a ton of money off of this, but I do enjoy buying miniatures, working with them. You know, it's a real labor of love more than any kind of, you know, super successful commercial enterprise. Now, Thor is a little bit too iconic with that bright red cape, so I've got Thor here, again from the movie. At least he's got two swords and not the hammer. He's not the comic book Thor. But I took that cape and I muted it with some brown paint. I think maybe burnt sienna was the color I used. Just got in there, dirtied them up a little. You can go over it again and again until the cape actually does turn brown. I didn't take it that far. I didn't feel the need to. Now I've got these Hulks, and I've already taken this guy in a previous video and just stripped him, swapped his head out, gave him a gun, and made him like an orc character for my 40k army. I'm going to do that en masse here, but I'm not going to strip them down. I'm not going to paint them all the way up from starting from scratch. I'm going to leave a lot of the original paint jobs behind. And this time what I am going to do differently is I'm going to take the head off of his weapon, which is clearly some kind of an engine block, which is cool for one or two characters, but it's a little too specific and iconic to just use for a whole army. So I'm just swapping that out with some beads, some bead heads I have that look like maces. It makes the whole thing look like, you know, more of a, I guess mace is the weapon, right? Little E6000 on there. Get that on there. I had to cut, widen the hole a little bit to make it fit around the weapon, but that was not too hard to do as far as crafting goes. Just piling these guys up. I got about 10 of them. I got 10, and I'm going to save all the heads and all the blocks, but additionally, I have a bunch of orc heads here, and most of these I think are from knobs, which are the larger orcs. Some of these might just be standard orc heads that I'm putting here on these Hulk bodies. But once you do that head swap, they already look really cool. You know, they're fine for fantasy if you want to stop here. You don't have to add the gun. They'd make some really impressive works for D&D as long as you had that head. I don't think the Hulk head works, you know, just using them as orcs is fine if you don't mind them being kind of, you know, handsome looking orcs relatively, not having that tusky face and crazy helmets. But getting a bag of orc bits is always a good investment if you see them on 40k, and I've bought them many times. Just slowly putting my orc army together. I have a lot of orc stuff that's just not painted, and this is just a way to make it a lot quicker. Painting armies up is a commitment. Orcs I'm finding a lot easier to do because you can express yourself a little bit more. You can get a little crazy with the paint job. You can have a little fun, kit bashing and stuff. It's a lot easier. I did Chaos for the same reason, because you could have a little more fun with it. You've seen me on this channel paint up 10-man squads of sci-fi human troopers, and that's fine, but you know, it's not nearly as fun as something like this. And anyway, I can speed that up, like using pre-paints and then sort of enhancing them with my own paint after, you know, cleaning up the lines and just adding bits here. Really works. And there's some stuff on this Hulk I really like. For example, he's got this crazy sort of space age, you know, cybernetic white tattoo on his shoulder and arm, and I dig that. I think that's really nice. So it's not something you can even do by hand. That was put on there with a machine. Leaving those on really makes them look special, and I like that. Using a little bit of cork here on the base. I like to pull cork apart with pliers, and those are my rocks. And then to fill in the rest of it, just a little white PVA glue. Dip it into some sand here. Got a little bit of craft sand with some stuff in it, and then I'll give it another coat of white PVA glue over the top once that dries, just to seal it all in. And then after that, it's just the slow task of adding paint. And because it was 10 minis and they are pretty big, and I did have to clean everything up, it did take me a little while to get these guys ready for the tabletop, but it was a really worthwhile time investment. I am going with a base coat of blue on the guns just to kind of match that shoulder plate they've got on the other side that's got that kind of metallic blue. But I do like blue under silver as a rule anyway. I think it's more interesting than just black under silver as far as the undercoat goes. And I think it really worked for these guys. The other things I'll be doing is just, putting washes on them. Green wash over their flesh. I got that sort of orc wash. I might use brown mixed in there. I think I like the way brown looks on the orcish skin as far as washes go. Obviously a black wash of Nuln Oil into their armor, highlights over their armor and whatnot, and the leather sort of kilt he's wearing, making that sort of pop. And again, cleaning up the line work, because it is good for a Heroclix, but for myself, to my own standard, a lot of the sort of line work on this miniature is a little bit sloppy and incomplete. You can see it coming along here with the base coats. I'm just sort of showing you the prep. I think once I get into the painting, I don't have a ton of footage of that, but I will show you what they look like once they're completed. While I got you here and I'm applying some washes to these miniatures, I'd like to take a second to let you know what's been going on in my life. About 14 months ago, my life partner, Sidra, who you've heard in videos if you've watched this channel for a while. Anytime you hear a female voice on this channel, it's my partner. She got diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, which is obviously devastating for both of us. It's been really hard getting anything done here because in addition to that, I'm going through my own health issues. I've been bedridden for the last month or so. I've got plantar fasciitis, gout, and my arches have collapsed, so I can't really get around too well. There's a lot of footage I'd like to add to this video. I'd love to take a picture of all of my works and show them to you, but I cannot really get that together right now. This is just old footage that I've been sitting on that I managed to edit together because I want to put something out for the channel. I'd hate to go too far. I'm doing this from the comfort of my own bed. So if you can, and you've got it in you, a super chat would be really great if you could visit my eBay store and just buy something off there. It would really help us out. I've got a GoFundMe. I don't know if it's still active, but here they are, just some of my orc forces put together, assembled with this, and I'm also going to show you a couple of pictures of just some of the lots of minis I put together. Anyway, guys, just another episode of Heroclix miniature mashup stuff on the books. I hope you had a good time, and hopefully you can make use of this great deal, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.